Yes. So, a very good evening to all of you. Let us start with today's session. And as always, before we start, give yourself a couple of minutes. Please go ahead with 5 deep breaths. You can take a breath from your nose, wait a couple of seconds, try to hold it in, and release via your mouth. Why do we do this? We do this to ensure that we are centered, focused, and calm before we start our session. So, I'll also go on mute, 5 deep breaths, and then we will start our session. Thank you. Okay, I hope we all are quite calm and focused. I'll request all of you to, try to log in from your laptop so the screen is bigger and we can, have a better look at our presentations. So as mentioned on the screen, today's topic starts from analysis and reporting, okay? So when we say analysis and reporting, it is an integral part of any BA's or, any manager's day-to-day life. As the word suggests, analysis, that means you're trying to analyze, you're trying to understand the data, the situation, or the project, or whatever work or task is in your hand. Okay. So we are really lucky that we have some superb tools to work with in case of analysis and reporting. Reporting, we all know, we all understand we have to send a lot of reports, like, the one report card that we get from our kids or, any younger siblings at home. That is a report card. On the same pattern, we also get reports, in the professional setup. It can be monthly, quarterly, bi-weekly, weekly reports. So that is like a status reports indicating where we stand at, where the project is at, or any particular, I would say, requested or asked report that we need to provide. In all of your earlier experiences, if any, have you prepared any kind of reports earlier? This is a question for everyone. In your work
Yes.
experience, have you prepared? Okay, I heard a yes. I think that was Vijay. Yeah. Which kind of reports have you prepared? Any, can you just tell us about it?
We had a productivity report,
Mm-hmm.
and then the MIS for the day.
Okay. So like your daily updates about the work, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anybody else wants to add to this?
Yes,
Reporting?
we've
Okay.
also done reporting in the past in my previous works. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
quarterly reports, business related, mostly for the revenue,
Mm-hmm.
the profits, the sales numbers, etc. On Excel.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, yes. That was going to be my next question. Thank you for answering that. So you had prepared reports in Excel, right?
Yes,
As you mentioned.
yes.
What about you, Vijay? What about you?
Yeah, it was on Excel, Microsoft Excel.
Okay, yes. So MS Office Suite is one of the, I would say, go-to tool. It is the most widely tool when it comes to analysis and reporting. So we will try to understand that in detail today. Just to get us started. Even this presentation that we are looking at, it is also on PowerPoint. Okay. Is there anyone here? You can raise your hand. Is there anyone who has not used or seen MS Office Suite till now? Anyone? If you have, I'll request you to unmute and say, I have used or I have seen. Yes, I need to know. Then we can go as per the explanation in depth. Yeah. Is there anyone who have not used MS Office or who has not seen anything like PowerPoint, Excel till now? Okay. People who are on continuous mute. What about you? Have you used MS Office?
I have, yes.
We have.
Yes, yes, we have.
Yes, we
Yes.
have
So
used.
you
Oh,
are
yes.
aware, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because for the people who are not, we generally show them, but
Yes,
then that's not the scene. Okay, perfect.
yes.
So let us breeze through it, as you all are aware about how it goes. So here we are trying to understand about MS PowerPoint, that the current application that we are also using for our presentation today. Okay. So can I request someone to read out the 3 points mentioned below MS Point, MS
This
PowerPoint? Yeah.
software, yeah, this software is
Mm-hmm.
used to prepare and deliver formal presentations. A business analyst often faces the situations where he needs to communicate ideas, justify, or deliver a project updates to stakeholders. This communication becomes more effective in the form of a presentation through PowerPoint.
Yes. So basically, PowerPoint or PPT that we call it as for short is one of the go-to application or go-to tool, if I have to call it, for any kind of reporting. Okay, formal reporting, any presentations. So even now, if you could see, we are presenting using PPT. So what kind of features PPT gives us is, first of all, we can highlight the data, we can add images, we can add we can add some animations nowadays, we can add
Flow
effects,
charts.
yeah, we can add flow charts, we can add our Excel, I would say we can even link Excel. We can also have your Excel tables imported or even copy pasted here. So any and every kind of data that we want to show, including our bar graphs, flow charts, pie charts, any kind of data representation that you already have in your, other type of work. Maybe it can be in the Excel or it can be in the Word or it can be in some other format that can be imported. Okay. And what we are saying that whenever we want to communicate the data or the ideas to stakeholders, this is one of the best tools. Okay, as we can see, it is very easy to use. We can have the slideshow on, it will keep running. We can do a lot of changes, even many a times while we are in the session, we enlarge or we minimize the data for better readability or understanding. So it is a very useful and handy and easy to use tool. Everybody agrees to this. Anybody has any doubts in MS PowerPoint that okay, no, it is difficult, it is not comfortable. Yeah, MS PowerPoint, everyone.
Yes.
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 Yes, yes, easy. Because this is just a see, we all are aware about these tools, but I'm pretty sure we are not must be using it on daily basis. Okay, if you're working and if your work requires you to massage data or to work on data, then yes, for sure. But if no, then you might not be working on that. But then as a BA, as a business analyst, you should have some background about it. That is why we have incorporated this topic. Okay. Next, very commonly used, super easy and super practical. And I would say this is the uh, most widely used. Not, I'm not sure about the numbers or the percentage, but in my recent years of career, when I had shifted to project management for more than like now around 9 to 10 years, this has been the go-to tool, okay, MS Office for data, for presentation, for charts, for pivot table, for coming up with solutions, for analyzing, for everything. Here we have mentioned like pivots tables we create, we work on data, we work on sort and filter. Sort and filter is see, Excel gives us such an awesome, I would say, way or such an awesome flexibility that you can even manipulate data. Manipulate means, if you have data in your Word document or Notepad, it is not that easy to sort, right? If I tell you, like, for example, here we are, and imagine we are 10 people, right now we are all here and we want to sort data as per our ages, okay? So assuming we are on our 20s, 30s and 40s, okay? So we want to sort data. So for 10 people, it might be easier, but imagine if you have data for like hundreds and thousands and, sorry, that kind of strength you have. So you might ask, Prerna, what kind of activities we do and why Excel is so important. So in business, as I think who mentioned, I think Seep, you had mentioned that you used Excel for revenue reports, or you, right?
Yes.
It was you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Seep might relate with this, that you get a lot of data, raw data, if I have to call it. You just get downloads of some particular reports or some other departments, and then you have to work on it. You have to, I would say, create such meaning out of it that you can understand what it says. Like there are sales reports, there are profits details, that those are shared via Excel reports. So we can understand which region in the country is giving us maximum profits, which region is not performing well, which region we want to reach out to more customer. Also, if it is a shampoo company, or if it is any particular product, then okay, we can understand gender, bifurcation, that okay, males are using this shampoo, females are using this shampoo, or what is the age range we are looking at. So even the survey results are kind of understood using Excel. So Excel is itself is quite interesting and quite practical and quite, I would say, useful. Anybody here has worked on any of these? I mean, sort and filter, I'm pretty sure you must have known. But pivot tables or charts, have you guys worked on or heard about it? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
I've heard about it.
Yes, you've heard about it. Okay. So for today's, one of the, I would say, uh, as I think Gaurav called it as home play, similar. So, or some of the offline work is, can you explore it on YouTube or otherwise, what is a pivot table or what is a how do we prepare a pivot table? We can very well show you, but I just want you to explore a little because when you explore, you do face some challenges, and then you really understand when you resolve those challenges, your understanding or your learning really goes well. So, can I request you to check pivot tables and charts and graphs, assuming you all know sort and filter? Yes.
Yes.
Can we connect on this tomorrow? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you tell me that were you able to understand it? And if not, then I will showcase. Give me a second. Okay. So what it says is it's like a spreadsheet like tool, okay, because it has multiple spreadsheets and Excel provides several mathematical and financial function. Okay. Now honestly, this part as a project manager or as a PMO, I also have not explored much, but I completely understand people coming from finance background, people coming from sales background, people are doing some research or maybe purely working on maths as a subject. They must be using a lot of mathematical and analytical, and then there are so many formulas in Excel. So as an Excel, it's pretty vast, okay? Let me be honest with you. Excel as a tool is extremely vast, but then for a BA, for a manager, for a product owner, or Scrum Master, generally our usage is limited to work on data, to create graphs, to create pivots, or to come up with proper presentations and required background data. So don't worry, uh, you know, as an understanding point of view for you to get started, the pointers mentioned on the screen are decent enough to get you started. If you are keen, if you are interested, if you want to explore much, then definitely you can learn some of the formulas. There are some addition and they're like very basic ones, but there are advanced which I myself have not explored much because they never came in handy for us for our day-to-day course of work. But then that is also an advanced category. For now, just to explore for tomorrow, please try to understand and work on pivot tables and some charts and graphs, and tomorrow we will try to have a hands-on on that. Okay, I'll prepare one, some examples, and I'll show you this is how it looks, and you can then share your understanding or any trouble if you have. Okay. So after Excel and PowerPoint, the next two very simple, very easy again, and very practical tools are Microsoft Word and Microsoft Visio. Okay. So I'm pretty sure Visio you might not have heard much. Anybody here has heard about MS Visio? Yes or no?
No.
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 I I've heard it. I
Okay.
haven't worked on it.
Okay, yeah, fine, fine. That's absolutely fine. You did not know everything because it depends on what kind of work you do. So yes, so MS Word, everybody is aware of. Have you worked on Word?
Yes.
Word
Yes.
document? Yes. Yeah. Can you
Yes.
please read it out and can everyone give me one activity that they have worked on, they have done on MS Word? Yeah. Someone to read out the text, please. Go ahead.
Microsoft Word serves the purpose of requirement specification document. Organizations can create their specific template for documenting the requirements. It is a utility application which allows user preferred fonts, theme, objects, shapes, smart arts, charts, and even option for embedding Visio diagrams.
Thank you so much for reading it out. So
Prerna, we can't hear you.
No, I went on mute because there was some noise around me. Okay, so I was saying thank you so much for reading it out. Can everyone tell me one example of MS Word that they have worked on? Any I would say operation or any activity they have worked on MS Word. What? Go ahead. Anything that you have worked on till now?
Millions of resumes that we've sent.
Yeah, I was about to say resumes, documents.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
expecting that. Yeah, I was actually expecting that. Yes. So even in Guru schools, the main important point here that we work on is resumes using Word. Yes. And along and not only resumes, even uh, though they are very important part of our day-to-day life as of now, as we decided to go ahead in this course of action. But along with that, if somebody is into writing, they write blogs, or if somebody is into general writing, or if somebody is into data collation, or even I understand nowadays, in schools or in colleges also, a lot of projects are on Word. They want you to write your thesis or your essays. Earlier it used to be on plain pen and paper, but nowadays everything is on Word, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
Most of the
even
things.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
even
Mhm.
horoscope.
Mhm.
That was, thank you for
Travis.
sharing that. I was not aware of that feature, but yes, yes, quite interesting. So just to on a serious note, imagine the use of these tools. Okay, they are so deeply or widely used. Okay, so that is really one. And as a BA, as a project manager, as a product owner in future, you will also be utilizing or using these features. Okay, so Word, I'm glad everybody's aware. You've worked on your resumes, you've worked on data, or at least some text modification, highlighting, showcasing, and you might have used some of the objects or shapes for charts and stuff. So yeah, glad you're aware. Now, last but not the least is MS Visio. Okay. Now, as the name suggests, it kind of gives us a visual representation. Okay, Visio stands for, and for understanding purpose, is a visual representation. So, visual representation of what? Let us understand. So, can I request someone who has not read till now to go ahead and start reading about MS Visio, please?
MS Visio. MS Visio is a
Mm.
modeling tool that business analysts use to effectively capture and present stakeholders' ideas in the form of business functions and user interactions. The main utilities of Visio are UML diagrams creation, such as use case sequence diagrams and activity, to prepare process flow charts, to create data models, to generate architecture diagrams.
Thank you so much for reading it out. Yes. So, what are we saying that it's a modeling tool? Okay. Now, you please don't confuse it with ramp modeling. Okay. Modeling as the ramp modeling, such as, they wear those fashionable clothes and showcase. Same way, we are trying to model our work, our functionality, our application on the screen or on the paper. Okay, so it's like you may ask that what kind of modeling are we talking about? So a classic example is while building a house or building any structure, there is a blueprint of that structure. Are you guys aware of that? Yes, blueprint of any new structure being built.
Buildings, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, buildings
Yeah.
of your, if you have a big house, yes. So when you create that blueprint, what are we doing? Are we modeling that what this house or what this building will look like in future? Are we projecting? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So same way, now that blueprint If you have ever seen that closely, luckily I one of my cousin is in MR, so I have seen some of the blueprints of her work during her education or during her learning period. So those are quite interesting. So what they do, they kind of replicate how the structure will look like on a piece of paper, right? In the small dimension with the same numbers, or with they actually have the proper I would say numbers, but only the size of that structure is smaller. So same way, same pattern followed when we use UML diagram. Now you may ask that how do we use it in software management? Okay, how we use it our sense of work. So imagine you have a huge website or huge application like Amazon. Okay, now Amazon has so many categories. I prefer to call it something that has everything from pin to piano, from every smallest thing to the largest possible available thing. So imagine even somebody had prepared a flow chart or a diagram or I would say a structure for Amazon. And by the way, just a quick fact, Amazon was initially created with the purpose of selling books online. Okay. Remember this. It was only dedicated for books, and gradually they have grown like this crazy. So when we create an application, or along with Amazon, I'll give you a very simple example of your online account, banking account. Everybody here has online bank account. They have accessed at least once in their life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, everyone. Yes.
Yes.
Is there anyone who has not seen any bank account? Glad. Glad that no one has said that. Okay. So, what is the simple process of logging into your bank account? Please don't provide any personal details, but what is the login steps if I have to ask you?
We enter the username and password.
Mm-hmm. Then, what if the username and password is incorrect?
You wouldn't be able to log in.
Reset password.
No, it gives three, I think you have three
Three
wrong attempts.
questions.
Three
Three
attempts.
attempts.
Uh, yes, and if you don't even pass that, see, imagine that you've forgotten your password or you have not written your password, or
Reset password.
maybe
Reset.
yeah, then you have reset password, right?
No,
And
I
then
think
and
after
then
the
this was
third attempt,
your
I think
account is
it's
locked.
blocked. Yeah.
It's locked. Your account is locked, and then you have to kind of unlock it using your debit card details and giving details about some of the security questions, or sometimes even you have to call at the bank. Now this whatever we discussed in detail, it is a flow. So do you see the second point, flow chart? So when we prepare these diagram using Visio, so how the flow goes? First is, the plain question that I asked you, like, what is the process of, sorry, logging into the system? So you mentioned that, okay, first of all, you type in the URL of the bank, SDFC, city, whatever it is, and then you enter your user ID and password. Now, the ideal scenario is both the user ID and password are correct and you log in onto your home page, right? This is the ideal scenario which generally happens in everybody's case because you're aware about your banking details. Now, that is one flow chart. Flow means a user comes in, they provides details, the details are correct, they log into the system. Another flow chart is user comes in, provides incorrect details, okay, provides incorrect details, and hence they are asked to put in their password again, re-enter your password or user ID. They come up, something is wrong, please enter correct credentials. If you do that second time again, then yes, you are logged into the system. In case you have done three wrong attempts, your account is blocked. Now, all these things that we have discussed, they are called as a flow chart. Sorry, they are called as a flow, and they can be depicted very well using flow charts. Okay, we will learn about these things practically in future or in next, I would say some of the uh, sessions. But right now, just try to understand for these kind of work, also we need this visual, not only flow charts, but also to create data models or data architecture. So you may ask what kind of architecture we are talking about. We just discussed about one that was to do with buildings or building homes. But in software development process also, we have some of the especially for some of the complex application, we have their architecture created, architecture diagram, we call it. So what it has all the nitty-gritties and details about that application. Now going back to the earlier example of Amazon, okay. Can anybody even try to guess how many categories Amazon has? Trust me, I can't. So that's an open question. Or can we even visualize how many categories Amazon as a website has? Can we? Or it is too vast to measure?
Too vast to measure.
Yeah, because it has everything. The broad categories can be on gender, on age group, on on categories of things that we are trying to look for, like apparels and toys and medicine and household materials, right? But it is too vast, okay? So even for such kind of applications, you would have an architecture. I'm not saying that they'll be mentioning all the categories, but I'm pretty sure they have a base structure, maybe utilities or maybe gender wise, and how it helps us is it helps us to understand what kind of uh, functionalities we are looking at, what kind of data that we are looking at, uh, how much or how many web pages. Everybody here understand what is a web page? Like when you click on, when you write www.hdfcbank.com and that, bank homepage opens, that is a web page. Yes, everybody understands that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. When we click on login, then the login prompt window. I think it's a window or it might be a different page that opens. That is again a different web page. When you go on your home screen or dashboard screen, that is again a web page. So when we actually develop an application, we do need to consider how many, that is again with respect to the complexity of application or how the approach is. In my earlier experience of as a project manager into development, overlooking or overseeing development, we used to keep a tab of these, how many web pages are there, because you need to handle all those pages. We need to handle the navigation, like how you mentioned, if I'm not able to put in the right password or keyword user ID, I'll be navigated to the screen where it is asking to enter the right details, right? Do you do anything for that, or it is directly, or you're given the links, right, to reset password, click on that link and that page appears? Or do you do anything specific for that, or just click on the link? What do you do?
We click on the forgot password link.
Yeah, because they are easily available, right? You don't have to do. But then when we click on that forgot password, it is kind of redirecting us to that page, right? That web page. That is why web pages, that is why these details are so important. And I'm giving so much explanation on that. Yes. So along with that, we have data models, use case. By the way, use cases, sequence diagram, and flow charts, all these things we will be learning going forward, okay, in the upcoming session. I just wanted to capture this. Gaurav, is it okay if I complete this, or do you want to take it? Started a
Up
bit
to you,
late,
Prerna.
Gaurav.
Up to you. Up to you, Prerna. Up
Okay,
to
so
you.
Yeah, I'll just complete this and then I'll request you to start with the tools. I mean, I've not taken this because I thought I'll start with a topic. I'll request you to take this, then go to your PayPal example. Okay. So I'll just finish
Aye.
this. Okay. Yeah, thank you. This is with the flow. That's why we're taking this, guys. So requirement gathering. Okay. We just understood how to work on a data and with utilizing tools. Now we'll try to understand how to collect the data or how to collect the information. That's why it is called as requirement gathering. Okay. So anybody here in their earlier work experience have done requirement gathering or have worked with that team who was working on requirement gathering?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay. Which has anybody else?
I have.
Me
Anushka.
too.
Okay. Okay. Superb. Quite a few people. Thank you. So we all need to understand what does requirement mean or and why are we doing this. So first of all, requirements are categorized into two parts. Okay, functional and non-functional. Okay, can you read functional and non-functional details mentioned there? Functional details are mentioned in functional requirement document.
Fun
Non-functional are, yeah.
functionality, that is features,
Mm-hmm,
usability, capabilities, and
mm-hmm.
operations of a product, and non-functional
Yes,
performance, stability, security, and technicality.
absolutely right. So when we say functional, that means as an application or as a website, Amazon.com has so many features, right? It will show you products. You can sort the products. You can even search products using the pictures available on your phone. You can see variety of related, I would say, products as per your demand. You can filter as per your budget, so these are all some of the functionalities or operations of a product. You understand this functionality when we say, like, in your banking application, you can transfer funds, you can check your bank balance, you can check your earlier month statements, you can create FDs and RDs, or you can do banking related activities, right? So these are all comes under functional, I would say, requirements or functionality. Everybody understands this? Any doubt? Yeah, super. So now we come to non-function. And by the way, all these functionality you can see, right? You can click, you can sort, you can filter, you can find, you can search, you can take a download of a report, right? You can do this. So non-functional, that is technical requirement document, TRD. In that we understand, we have to look at some of the features. Those are non-visible. Okay, when I say non-visible, that means as you see a product on Amazon, you can't come and see, hey, this is stability, oh, this is security, or this is performance. No, a simple and the most widely understood is, when we say performance, that means like in today's example. Okay, uh, by mistaken, I pinged on that earlier link. Were you able to join on that link? No, because it was an expired link. Okay, so for that matter, did Zoom perform, or were you able to log into the system, log into the meeting?
No.
No. Why? Though it was mistake on our part that I had shared the earlier link, but then we did not see the application up and running. So same way, I think a couple of years back, if I may be right, do you know that Facebook was down for entire night, like for around 8 to 10 hours? Were you aware of that? It was in the news. It was quite a big
Yes.
news, though. Yeah. You know how much damage it did to Facebook's revenue and even to reputation? Or even when your bank server are down, though we might not have to do any particular activity, but we don't like that they being down or they having downtime. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Why? Because we want to use it, we want to access it whenever we want, right? Whenever we can. So now this has to do with performance and stability. Okay. Performance means whenever I am utilizing that application, it should be up and running. Yes, and stability means yes, many a times what happens nowadays the scenario is quite less, but have you guys come across a very classic error called 404 page not found? Have you seen that recently? I haven't, honestly. But have you come across in your life
Yeah.
404 page not found
Mm-hmm.
error?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Now that error shows that whenever that error used to come on any web page, that means there was some problem in the background or in the stability of that application. That's why they had to showcase that. Nowadays, developers are pretty smart and they know the customer mindset. So while surfing Amazon on link on maybe a laptop or on phone, while you're searching something, and if that is not found, have you seen a very cute puppy face or puppy image stating that, oh, we could not found your product? Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
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 So that is masking of that error. So earlier that 404 ugly page that we used to see, sorry for calling it ugly, but it was a very crude and very non-fancy page, okay? But now we are handling that. So honestly speaking, if you're not able to find a product, I wouldn't say it's a glitch, but it's a non-performance. But they showcase that in such a nice way that forget the product. We're like, oh, that's such a cute. Like oh moment comes in, and we look at the puppy face, and we forgot, and we forget, and we get back to our another search or another finding that we are doing, right? So this is how we manage that. So it has to do with your performance. Stability means everywhere, every time, whenever you try to access something, that should be up and running. Security and technicality. Technicality is the technical part of it, that whenever you're accessing application, they should be up and running, the service should be on time, there should be proper database backups, that is all, that has nothing to do directly with your day-to-day job. But security, everybody understands. Data security, network security, it simply means as the application has customer data, as the application has its own data, it needs to be secured. We do not want any hackers or anybody else coming in and accessing that. Yes, everybody understands that. Data security. Would you like your bank account to get hacked? Anybody?
No.
No.
No, right?
So,
For
No.
Not
obvious
yet.
reasons. Not yet. Or maybe in future you want that. That that's quite a strange answer, but interesting one. So yes, we don't the way we don't want our house to get robbed. Same way we don't want any of our account, for that matter, even our Facebook account. Whenever it is hacked, I've seen people creating a new account and stating that, okay, my earlier account is hacked. Please don't respond to that. Generally it is hacked for scamming people, asking for money or asking for details. So yes, so that's why security is of so much of importance, and that comes under non-functional requirement. This will come in handy when we are working on your business requirement document. Now we'll just quickly understand what kind of requirements we have. Can I request four people to read out the four texts mentioned in the yellow boxes quickly?
Business requirements.
Stakeholders
Stakeholder
Next.
requirements.
Perfect. Next.
Utilization requirements.
Yes.
transition.
Next.
Functional requirements.
Transition
Transition
Transitions
requirements.
requirements.
required.
Transition requirement.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Now let us get started. And it's quite easy to understand, though there are big, big words. Business requirement means what do this functionality or what do this application actually does. Now, banking application, what it does, it allows you to log in your app, log in your system, log in your account, do online activities. What Amazon does, okay, online buying, selling, reselling, whatnot, everything that they do. So what does your application do? That is your business requirement. If a customer comes and tells you, I want to create a WhatsApp-like application, then what does their requirement is? That they want to have a chatting and video calling and calling messenger with so many details. So that is the requirement. What What does it do? That's the requirement. Stakeholder requirements. Okay, now stakeholder requirements can also be seen as they are focusing on your requirements from the profit point of view or from the interest point of view. Like, if you have senior management as your stakeholders, then they will be more keen on getting to know how well you are expanding the business, how well you are reaping profits, how well you are collecting more customers. So that can be their requirements, or if you have a tech team as a stakeholders, then they would say what kind of new technology that you're implementing, what kind of new features that you're adding, what kind of new I would say an open source you're implementing. So this is all depending on who wants what from your project. Okay, and as a word, stakeholder means each and every person or community or I would say or a group that have stake, that means that have interest in your project, that is your stakeholder. Okay, so your team, development team is a stakeholder, your customer is your stakeholder, your senior management is your stakeholder, or if any other organization is outsourcing their resources to you, they are your stakeholder. So there are multiple stakeholders. It is never only you and the customer, multiple people involved in the project. Okay, so what are they looking at? Next is solution requirement, and that we just learn in detail. That's why I took functional and non-functional earlier. So when we work on a solution, when we are creating an application, then okay, what features it has? Okay, it can allow you to look at application. It can allow you to buy particular items. It allows you to research or find particular item. It allows you to compare some items. So what features you're providing? Assuming Amazon is your product. Or then what are the non-technical feature it has? Okay, so yeah, it has stability, it has a good performance, we're able to open all the pages, there are no direct errors. So this is a part of non-functional requirement, and that is technical requirements. And last but not the least, there are transition requirement. Now, as the word suggests, transition means you're changing from one state to another. Okay, transition, when we say we are transitioning, right? Yes or no? We use this word.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it
Yes.
basically means that you are transferring from one solution or one state to another. Now, it can be in many form. Like for example, you're transitioning from, uh, you know, uh, now MS Office or is one of the very good example that in the earlier version, or you know what, we get those updates for WhatsApp that please install the new version. It has these features. Do we download the new version or not? Do we update our application? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
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 Yes, we do.
Yeah. So why do we, perfect. Why we do that? Because it has new features which have been transitioned, which have been built in the newer version. They were not in the earlier version. Generally, they are security features or some of the new features they are introducing. So it simply means, while you are changing from one version to another, while you're progressing or advancing, you have to make some changes, right? Like for example, if you had imagine in your village or in your in hometown, you had a small house, it was a simple house. Now you want to build a two-story house. Okay, you're building a two-story house, so your requirements changed or not? Did they transition from the simple house to two-story house? Right, you need bigger house, you need more rooms, you will need more windows, more doors, more columns, or whatever it is required for building. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So same concept utilized in this manner. Yeah. So I think I am past my time a lot. And guys, we will ensure we'll be starting on time from tomorrow. Apologies from my end again, and thank you for your cooperation. So as of now, I'm requesting Gaurav to continue from here. Gaurav, are you there? Should I stop this? Should I stop the share?
Yeah, you can stop screen share and just need confirmation. Thank you so much for teaching till here, Prerna. Okay,
Welcome,
I
Gaurav.
just want
Thank
to
you.
know, are we done with the basic history of business analysis? Did we speak about it last time? I just wanted to quickly check.
Gaurav,
Let
can
me
we
share.
go back to the slide that Prerna was
Mm.
on? I have a
Okay.
question regarding that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before
go
you
ahead.
ask, let me
Gaurav, your
ask
voice
you.
is cracking.
Have you gone through this? Am
Yes,
I
we
Gaurav,
have.
audible?
Yes, we did.
yes.
We did.
Hello.
Yes, we gone
Am
through
Yes,
I
we
the
did.
audible,
slides with
guys?
Prerna.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Gaurav, you're audible, but in between
We
your voice is cracking. And what I wanted to say that we did go as per the BA book, but then if you want to add something from your own experience, please feel free to. Yes. In the earlier slide, in the day one,
no,
we
that's
had
all
gone
right.
as per BA book. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so Sweta asked me to come on
Yeah,
this slide, so I'm here. Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Gaurav. So, I have a question regarding this transition requirements. So, I'm a little
Mm-hmm.
confused. So wouldn't they be just regular business requirements, even if they are, just an update or upgrade to whatever, operating system, or, how are they transition requirements? How are they different than, you know, I understand the word transition is, if we are transitioning, if we are upgrading to something, but then if we, as a business analyst, when I'm taking the requirements, so how are they different than, regular business requirements or the functional requirements, non-functional requirements, whatever.
Okay, Gaurav, can I just start on this? Then I think you, if you want, you can continue.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so very good question, first of all. And why, how are they different? Okay. So, Shweta, when we create something from scratch, something from origin, you have complete control over it. Okay. So when I say business requirements, generally they are fresh, they are very new, they are the beginning of it. The customer comes to you and they're like, okay, we want to create, and you have a complete control over what you're building and what you're going to start and you're planning to work. When we talk about transition requirements, that means something is already worked upon or something is already there. Maybe a system or maybe an application, and then you want to make some changes or you want to transit that, you want to make updations for that. So therein the requirements does change because we have something for reference, and again the new things that we will work upon has to be in coherence with the earlier application or earlier product. So that's why it needs more tweaking, it needs more research, it needs more hand holding than purely starting with a transition. Now I'll tell you a simple thing. Okay. During our school days, okay, if we had a normal teacher or normal teachers allotted to particular subjects, whenever there was some scenario when the teacher was maybe pregnant or maybe somebody was ill or somebody was on a long leave, we used to have another teacher, right? A replacement teacher, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just coming to a point here. Yeah. So in that scenario, that teacher, though she used to get the handover, but then she used to come and ask us, right? Okay, what did the earlier teacher taught you, and where were you, and how was it? Yes or no? Or did he or she just come and blindly started teaching you? Did they try to make that rapport because they were new and they try to understand how how the earlier teacher used to explain things? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that extra step is required for transition. When something, see, when I'm building some, like it's as simple as that. If I ask you to cook something and tell you the dish and ingredients, you'll go and cook, right? But if I ask you to repair something somebody has already cooked, will you take some time or not? Will you taste it first? Will you see what they have put in? You have to do your own research and you have to understand what they have cooked, and then you have to make changes. So do you see that extra step of understanding the earlier requirements and then coming up a solution is additional to transition requirements.
Yeah, so I
Does it?
understand all the examples that you're giving, Prerna. So I'm still confused as a business analyst if I'm taking the requirements, right? If there is an upgrade to anything that is already there. So as a business analyst, I would be writing those requirements under, either functional requirements or, non-functional requirements. I have never this is a new word for me. I don't know
Yeah,
under
because no, I understand because it is something not so typical. Transition requirements are not day to day. If any earlier I would say customer comes in and asks for a particular addition to their existing system, then only you'll have. See, as a manager also, very few times we have come across transition requirements. But then as a type of requirement, we have to know it and we are studying it.
Yeah.
Are you clear
So,
now? That's fine. That's fine if you're not exposed to that or did not explored that. But that is one of the types that can be worked upon in business analysis. That's why we're introducing you to that.
yeah,
Yes?
yes. So, but still there is
Okay.
one more question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, the thing is, I understand there is this another, document that we are creating called transitional requirements, but if there is an upgrade, like I'll take your the example
There
that
is
you
no
gave.
document. We are okay. Sorry for interrupting. See, we don't create a document called transition requirement. It is all part of your business requirement document or that or your specifications that we are creating. We don't create a separate document. We just highlight these requirements as transition because the efforts that we'll be putting in, those will be a lot more and a lot different than the regular requirements. Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
is it the same thing as creating a version? So, so first we are creating version 1 document. So with the first requirements that we got, and if there is an upgrade, then we are creating version 2. That is called the transition
This
requirement.
we can do, yeah, to answer your question, this we can do if we are working on the application that we have already worked. The second example which I gave is
Yeah,
if
that's
a
what, you
company
told, like
comes in.
transition requirements would be only when we have already worked on the application and then we are going to transition those into something else, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Just to add to that, an organization or a customer can come in and they can have their own earlier existing application and they want
correct.
us to upgrade that. And
Correct.
that scenario also it's a transition, right? So there are multiple scenario due to interest of time or flow of explanation. We know we can't cover all the explanations or examples, but yes, even in this scenario, when the company or customer already has an existing application and we want to work on that, it is also called as transition. Are you clear now? Yes or no?
Yeah, so
You will get there. You will get there. I understand people, for some, it might be a new terminology or new understanding, but as and when we progress through multiple sessions, I'm pretty sure we'll get there. And if you don't, please ask us again. We will explain.
so
Yeah,
one
Gaurav, you
last
want to add
time,
to it? Mm-hmm.
so one last time, I don't know. I'm sorry guys,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm
No, it's
wasting
okay.
your
Go
time,
ahead.
but I just need to understand these transitional requirements are nothing but, making a version of whatever was there already to some other version, right? To an upgrade or something. So there is no
For
like
a
formal
layman
formal.
understanding, yes. For a layman understanding, yes, but it will be a lot more complex and a lot more complicated in real life. For your understanding, for our understanding as of now, honestly, yes. Whatever you're saying makes sense. But when we actually work in practical terms, it is a lot more complicated because many features, many details involved. Yes. Gaurav, would you like to add here? Gaurav, are you there? You're on mute.
Prerna, I actually missed the core question itself, so I won't be able to add anything. So you can continue.
Okay, she was just asking about transition requirements, and we kind of ended on a very simpler note stating that generally transition requirement in a layman terms, again to highlight, that means we are kind of changing the versions of the application. We are upgrading the application. So I said yes for easier understanding. it can be perceived that way, na, that we are transitioning from
Hmm.
one phase to another phase. Yeah. But in
Yeah,
real
yeah.
life, I was mentioning it would be a lot more complex and complicated. But for
Hmm.
understanding purpose, this works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So transition is a vast, I would like to add over here. It's just not what you heard or you can imagine. You can definitely imagine as if, let me continue with the example of Amazon. Imagine that Amazon didn't have its own developed database system, which is AWS right now. Okay. And they are still sitting on Microsoft's various SQL. Okay. Tomorrow they decide that this database, using this database, retrieval of the information is becoming difficult, and they decide to transition the entire thing from Microsoft SQL to Microsoft Postgres. Okay, this is one of the database, and only made to do this shift they would develop various transition. Okay, they would be acquiring that, whether the data fitment is happening or not, then using that data, whether Amazon UI will be able to reflect those, all those details from backend or not. So this is not just as simple as said, but there is a lot more complex requirement would be there. Okay, starting from reading all the table from the database, fetching all the information of those table, and then thereby fetching all the records from those tables. So this may sound that only developers work is there, but no. There is the work of technical architect, there is a work of testers are also involved. Everyone needs to perform their own level of validation, and then that could be, that could be compartmentalized over there. So yeah, you can consider this. The when we say transition, what I said just now is one of the example. What Prerna added is another example. The third could be also what you are asking, that could be the upgradation, and all those requirement continues to differ depending upon what business asks. When I say business ask, means what client asks. Do you have any additional question into this that you could not understand, Shweta?
Yes. So, as a business analyst, what kind of document am I creating when there is a transition,
Okay.
required?
Okay. Okay. So understand when it comes to understanding the requirement, whatever the requirement is, it is just a requirement, whether it is a business requirement, whether it is a solution requirement, whether it is stakeholder requirement, whether it is a transition requirement. In a nutshell, you are going to create a requirement document. Now, inside requirement document, there will be there could be the differentiation of the document, to which we few of them we call it as that on high level. When the statement of work comes, a customer gives certain statement of work, they try to convert it in FRD, that is the functional requirement document. Somewhere we call it as the system requirement document, somewhere we call it as a functional system requirement document. And whenever the more technical terms come into that goes under NFR, that comes under non-functional requirement document. There also you document more of the technical part. Now the business analyst does not need to develop the technical document. Moreover here, work of the dev lead, then tech leads and technical architects work, their involvement more happen, and they develop the technical requirement document. Now when you are developing, even it is related to transition requirement, ultimately it will be the result of the business change or business requirement or change document. So before even you could consider to develop the transition requirement, there will become the part of any sort of either change request or a complete new requirement. And then even for transition requirement, you will be developing a fresh new requirement document. That's number one. Number two is that if this transition is happening for any existing application, then whatever the existing application earlier signed off requirement document would be there with the customer, they may feel like sharing that with you, and further you can upgrade them or extract some data from them there, and you can develop altogether a new requirement document. Now What all goes inside the requirement document, that is the different story that we will be talking about it in coming few days. Okay, are you getting more visibility and clarity inside it? What
Yeah.
happens?
So yeah, initially whatever you explained initially, that was my question. Like, where are we going to put these requirements? Are we going to have them as a business requirement? Then we'll put them in the functional or the non-functional requirement document. So that was my question. Okay, I'm
Okay,
I'm
did
good
it
now.
get answered now? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
did it get answered now? Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Now, one more thing, guys, because you are emphasizing this on the requirement, on the documentation. Let me tell you, when you learned about the agile principle and values, I hope you remember for the documentation it says something. Do you remember what does it say? Anyone? Mm-hmm. Anyone, guys? I want you to recall it. If you remember, how many values, how many principles it had? Who can tell me?
Principal.
12 principle and how many values?
Five, I
Four,
guess. Four.
four
Four.
values.
Four values.
Yeah.
Always keep checking with yourself that you are able to recall or you still remember them or not. So in that four values and 12
And 12
principle,
principles.
yeah, four values and 12 principle, one important thing was there which is related to documentation. And I want you to recall even that. So who can tell me that? What was the what was related to documentation? What was the part which was related to documentation? Who recalls that?
Was it
And
How? Uh,
working software
Working on
over
software.
comprehensive
You said
documentation?
it.
Was it
Yes,
it?
working software over comprehensive documentation. And does it mean? What do you recall after that? It means that document may say many things, okay? But important is that it doesn't mean that because your requirement document says this and your software is not adding value. Ultimately, you look for the adding value. Sometimes what may happen because the documentation has not been developed the way you wanted to, that's number one, and your software is not responding as per the change requested. That's number two. Number three is that just because documentation is not updated doesn't mean that work will not be started. See, it is just not one statement. You need to read in between the line. When I say and talk about it, I also check with you guys. Imagine a time that when you are going to start the work, all the contract and all the working, all the negotiation has happened, everything has been verbal. You have never been copied as a business analyst in any of such emails, and now you have documented the requirement and all. You are waiting for the sign off from the customer so that you can start your work. And when you are starting your work, before the kickoff meeting or agile sprint planning meeting, it has been decided that when you are going to get started, when your actual work will start. Okay, imagine if the work is going to get started on 17th of January and you have been following since December that, okay, client, give me sign off on this document. Okay, and in December you had dropped the email, you did not receive any response. And can you see the calendar in front of me on the screen? Yes, no?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
Yes.
And on 10th of January, okay, I'll go back because still it is 12th in 12th in your region. Okay. So imagine on Thursday night, you recalled, okay, it's 9 January. I needed to start work on 13 January. Okay. And in ninth night, you decided, or say this week you recalled, okay, it's 6 January, client has not given a sign off yet. Okay, you drop an email. Okay, hey client, we are still waiting for the work to get started. Client did not turn up. Okay, you still gave them 24 hours of time. On 8th, it may create a panic situation. What you will do on 8th? if client does not return or still did not respond to your mail which you had dropped in the month of December, on 6th you gave them the reminder and you spared them for 24 hours. On 8th, what you can do?
Escalate.
What you will do? Escalate is a big term. Tell me the action.
Okay. Um, include I mean senior folks on
Okay.
email and
In the email, you will include the senior folks. And
yeah.
okay, so in the morning, say for example, I consider that in the morning you will include the senior folks because this is almost a second reminder. First was the email, sixth you are reminding, eighth you are sending as a second reminder, but in the second reminder itself you are escalating. So when you are escalating, you will screw that customer, or how sort of email or escalation it should be.
It's not to screw the customer, it's just to get work done, right? So
Remind.
it's for their benefit as well as for our benefit. So
Yeah, it's both of the sides of benefit, but okay, if you say that, although I won't means consider that you should screw them, but yeah, on 8th when you are sending email, you are escalating, you are including the senior folks. What you would like to mention in that? Can you try to attempt as in a line or two that what exactly want to highlight here on 8th in the email?
We can mention that, this is what we prepared and
Mm-hmm.
whatever's ready to be
Mm-hmm.
of I mean highly presented. So we're just waiting for your sign off to begin something on that ground.
Yeah, okay. On 8th, you will send that, okay, you have included, and the way you said, Vijay, right?
Yes,
Who,
yes,
who
Gaurav.
who answered me? Yeah. So, Vijay, when you answered me, so you are very gently telling that, okay, so because you have included the senior folks and you want their attention, and you said that okay, this is the document which we had shared in the past in the month of December, again we have included, and we want still waiting for your sign off for the things to get started. Now it's you will wait for how long you may wait? Another 24 hours,
Yeah.
because now you have included
it's
freshly seniors. Now what happens? Senior did not find to respond. It is Friday, and 13 you have to start the work. What you will do on 10th? And
So,
remember the principle and values as well. Yeah, go ahead. Who was answering
so,
this?
um, this
Sweta,
is
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
In response to Vijay's email, I'll include one more line. Just trying to get a response by the end of the day today, and if not, then I'll try to fix up a meeting on Thursday or Friday whenever the next one is available. So you can so we can all discuss there.
And do you think on 10th, same day, you will write this email?
If no, I'll the first time on the 8th when I'm writing an email, I'm trying to give them a timeline saying that I please do respond by the end of the day today, or whenever earliest. But I'll try to define a timeline for them to respond. If not, then I will point out to their seniors and point out to the manager, to my manager also,
Yeah,
asking
so that
to
that all
intervene.
things, that all inclusion of seniors has happened on 8th. You have
Yeah,
given the window and you
yeah,
are asking them to come down to the meeting if nothing finalizes till the end of day on 8th, come down for the
uh-huh,
meeting. Now the
yeah,
meeting has to be accepted, right? All
right,
the senior folks are there. So senior folks may assume that okay, you guys will sort it out, whoever the responsible or send POC from the client end and the my business analyst Sweta, both will have their meeting on 10th, but it did not happen. The person did not turn up, no response. Now 10th is like okay, on 13 you have to start work. What you are going to do? The meeting did not happen. You will send another email. Okay,
on 10th, when
unfortunately.
you're setting up a meeting, you're including the senior folks also. The intent was to get the attention of the senior folks.
so then I'll ask. Yeah,
So are you saying that you will be inviting senior folks as a mandatory
yes,
or
of
to
course.
attend?
Yes, this
Yeah,
is an escalation
Okay,
situation, right?
okay,
So
yeah,
okay. Okay, so I would still tell you another way round. Okay, this is okay to do that, go in pressing manner. That's all right. What
Maybe,
happens? Yeah, go ahead, try it.
sorry, I was about to say maybe we will do the prep work uh, till then, and maybe wait for uh, the stakeholders to respond.
Prep work, I could not get that. What sort of prep work it would be, Vijay?
Let's assume that, we've prepared all the requirement gathering, and everything is ready from our side. We'll probably have a discussion with the Scrum team, the development team, and start the work, and simultaneously have a discussion with the senior
Yeah.
members.
Okay, so let me give you one alarm, all of you, because you will be working in Agile. Agile ceremonies are considered as non-productive hours. If we'll continue to focus meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings, all will be non-productive hours. So if I were you, what I would have done, because I have sent out the document already in the month of December, now I am following up. The moment you will write this code, in case you have any changes to tell, uh, share us or give us the sign off, or else on 13 with the similar document, we are going to start our work. Now, the customer are knowing that any which way, whether we give sign off or not, on 13 they will need to start the work and they will consider the document as a sign off. Okay, not so you need to draw a line telling that when you have anything to point out, please point out. If you're not pointing out, we will consider it sign off.
Exactly.
In including this line itself is an alarm, is a promise and acceptance from your end pushed through you. Okay, now you are ready to work. Tomorrow, customer cannot come down, because this has happened in front of me in couple of project. When customers say, when we are not responding, it means that you need to consider that, please consider to start. Why we are wasting time in unnecessary discussion. So you have to cover your back always. Okay, and it is always wise to introduce this line in your email, even if you are escalating.
I have a
Got it?
doubt here, Gaurav.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Is this scenario, I mean, is this situation the same for any organization and any kind of methodology, or c- strictly where what do you say, an organization that is following strict agile methodology? Not every
Hmm.
organization is this agile, right? As
Yeah,
in,
not
this,
every organization is agile, but why? See what happens in agile. There is a least documentation today. The mindset has been changing. Okay, agile is not just the methodology. Agile has become the mindset. Even if you don't adopt the
yeah.
uh, methodology, you have to adapt the mindset. You should not be at that front where you will become responsible as a victim, but you should be covering yourself as a business analyst, telling that we have given you all the information. We are ready to kickstart the work. We were waiting for you. Yeah, but in certain scenario, what happens? Customer are amendment and they need what? Okay, still few countries like in Europe or Australia, product based company, they follows that. Okay, you send me sign off written, scanned and stamped. I will take a printout of it and keep it. If such scenarios are there, they well in advance they talk about it and they don't behave in this way. But
No,
when it
the side
becomes
off might be just a what do you say, an email itself. That is not the problem. But
n-
until and unless sign off happens, certain organizations do not allow the, I mean, do not give you their what do you say, go ahead for the
no, so
development to
yeah, things are
begin.
changing. Things are changing. The moment we introduce the agile, even the documentation has been minimized. Don't think about the documentation to be always in the BRD, business requirement document, and FSD and all. No, things has to be converted today into tickets. Every requirement
That is
has
there.
to be, yeah, every requirement has to be mentioned now either in Confluence or in the tickets only. Okay, they won't be writing a different types of multiple documents as such. That's number one. Number two is that those organization who emphasize on the sign off, those who are expecting sign off over the email, they are really not amendment whether you give them in writing or not. But still those organization are there, they expect sign off through the yours with your signature and all on those printed document. So there are two categories: those who are not caring for the exactly my vendor will only start work when I'll give the sign off. They will say that when we are not responding, it means that please proceed with that. And to cover that back, is it bad to introduce this line? Okay, we have a timeline to start with 13. We are expecting your sign off. In case we don't hear anything from you, we will consider it is expected from your end and we will continue to start. Will it harm or it will protect you? What do you think?
It is productive.
Productive.
It's just that the organization should be, it's not just the BA who decides how the organization should
No, no,
perform.
no, no, no. See, BA has to cover themselves. Okay, you have to cover your back. It's not organizational way of working. Organization may decide anything, but yeah, of course, you are closely working with the product owner and Scrum Master. You have done all your attempt to bring the attention from your customer to respond, and somehow it may happen. This is the way you should be responding. Okay, and this is always going to protect you. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it sounding in your favor or not, Anushri? I just
No,
asked
no, yeah,
one.
yeah, it is sounding in our favor. I don't
Yeah.
disagree to anything you're saying. It's just that some
No,
not all organizations are, what do you say, 100% agile. Some organizations still, not some, there are organizations that I know of that,
I gave you a few example because I had worked in a couple of the insurance product companies. So they literally wanted signed copy of printed
hmm,
this requirement document and scanned back and sent back to them. Okay,
yeah,
so they said that only start when we do this. So yeah, I
yeah,
agree with you. Such organizations are there, but gone are those days now. You will be not only working with those old mindset product based company, because those are okay. I don't want to comment on the age and anything. So but today things are
yeah. In
changing
the
in a way that
in organizations where it's agile, definitely what you said is
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That
So we are learning Agile BS Scrum. Now the thing will be that you will be finding a way out that how you will be converting your requirement into the various tickets. We will be learning that. Now tomorrow will be dedicated more towards the how do we gather the requirement. Okay, so there are the various steps, and we will be learning the process and as well how to develop the robust requirement, converting from rough to a robust actual BRD or actual requirement document that will become means ready to be signed off from the client. How to get into this? So we are going to discuss tomorrow. Any questions so far? Because I just looked at the time as well, and I think it's time to take a pause now. Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, Gaurav,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
to
Abhijit.
go back to this discussion about the the emails and the reminders that we send to the client. So, do we associate this kind of scenarios with new clients, or because what I understand is if this is like a trend or which has been happening for a while, and then we automatically proceed with the work, right? So
Right.
it's most of the times with the new clients that new project that
Yeah,
we.
and you set the temperament, you set the culture. Okay, if it is a new client, you set the trend. Okay, if it is old client, or even if it is new client, the way of work you anyways get to understand, because in initial way during the contract itself it will be mentioned that should we wait to start the before starting the work for the client's signed copy, or we can go ahead even if client is not commenting because they have accepted. So such kind of confirmation happens over email during the initial talks and during signing the contract itself. Okay, so sometime what happens, these things will not, you will not be finding in some communication, and but
Yeah.
definitely it will be conveyed, product owner will convey you, and then you can take it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all, and that's the reason you will be always closely working with the product owners.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the more reasons not to irritate the client. Yeah.
Right. Of course. So good question. So thank you guys. So if no question, we can wrap it up, and we'll talk to you again soon then tomorrow. Yep.
Yep.
Any other question? Yes, no?
Gaurav, just the recordings. I think we still haven't got the recordings.
Okay, so what I'll do, because if you have not gotten, let me again check with the HR. What I'll do is that until HRs are turning up, because I have been sharing with them, I will share directly the Zoom recording with you. And whenever you will find you, because Zoom recording will go in maximum 15 days, it will go away. And if you won't be able to get it, then that will be lost from both the end, from HR as well as you. So that's the reason I'll go ahead, share the Zoom recording with you, and at the same time will remind to the HR to send you the YouTube link. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye bye. Good night. We'll talk to you again.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you,
Bye-bye, guys.
Gaurav.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. जैसे इसकी वीडियो को लाइक करो, चाहिए इस वीडियो को लाइक हाँ